5'8" forward, number 4, Eva Willoughby. From Father John Redmond in Mississauga, 5'8" guard, number 5, Anna Clarkwick. From Holy Names in Windsor, 5'2" guard, number 23, Shaylin Murphy. And from Warren, Michigan, 5'7" guard from Centerline Secondary School, number 424, Janae Smith. And the kids in his 10th year, Phil Milanis, Amanda Milanis, and Christina Silva, the assistant coaches of the Saints.
And welcome back to the Cessna Group Athletics and Fitness Complex, also known as the Lions Den, for our second OCAA semifinal matchup. We witnessed the first semifinal matchup not that long ago where we saw the home team, the Lambton Lions, defeating the Niagara Knights 65-50 to advance to tomorrow's gold medal game. We'll see who they take on after this one as we host, once again, the St. Clair Saints taking on the Algonquin Wolves. My name is Kevin Ferrer, and I'll be on the call all weekend long, as well as Matt Rose, former assistant coach of the Lambton men's basketball team and current OCAA referee. Welcome back to another game here in the Den tonight.
Kevin, it is loud in here, and it is going to be a fantastic matchup tonight between the Algonquin Wolves, as you said, ranked number 2 in all of Canada, and the number 2 seed out of the West, the St. Clair Saints.
Yeah, the Algonquin Wolves, the only team that survived to make it here to the Final Four here this weekend. The other 3 teams are from the West Division, all ranked 1, 2, and 3. The St. Clair Saints being ranked number 2. The Algonquin Wolves, what a run that they have had. Another 14-0 undefeated season, and one other accolade that they've had to their name for the second year in a row is best defensive team of the East, as they take on the Saints here today, and they have quite the task ahead of them, especially trying to deal with number 3, Caitlin Overeem, who is the OCAA scoring champion, and that's number 3, Caitlin Overeem, on the St. Clair Saints.
Caitlin's been a fantastic player in this league for a lot of years, and she's looking to cap off in her 5th season an opportunity here to play for a gold medal.
And the Algonquin Wolves now with the ball, catch and shoot, quick one by number 11 here, Libby Hurst of the Algonquin Wolves, number 3 now with it. Caitlin Overeem here for the St. Clair Saints, and despite there being less people here in the Den, it is as loud as it was when it was a packed house not that long ago for the Lions-Knights game.
Quality, not quantity for this matchup here, Kevin.
Absolutely, a lot of clappers in the crowd and a lot of cowbell. Always need more cowbell. And
a great man once said,
yeah, exactly.
I need more cowbell.
And number 11 with the finish again, Libby Hurst here for the Algonquin Wolves. And that puts the Wolves up with a quick 4-0 here against the Saints to start us off here in the first quarter in the semifinal matchup. And our first foul called here on number 6, I believe, here of the Wolves, on Sydney Moore.
Two-shot.
Number 3 going to go to the line here. Caitlin Overeem, we just mentioned, scoring champion, averaging 20.9 points per game. And she is also a CCAA All-Canadian as well, along with Brianna Pretty on the Lions. And another CCAA All-Canadian here on the Algonquin Wolves, number 4, Daisha McDonald as well playing in this one. So we have a couple of All-Canadians facing off against each other in this one also.
An all-Canadian fest here, which is fantastic.
Number 12 trying to get it off the glass. No good on the attempt by Sienna Miller here of the Wolves. Overeem trying to find a player here on the other end of the pass. Shaylin Murphy, no good. Picked up by the Saints, though. And the Wolves recover here. Number 12 bringing it down now for the Algonquin Wolves.
Wolves coming out, running a high ball screen here. Not much from either team so far. Just a bit of a feeling out process here to start the game, Kevin.
And a quick 3 here, putting it up, no good. Trying to grab her own rebound was Daisha McDonald, the CCAA All-Canadian we were just talking about, but that one goes out of bounds. Saints going to take possession here. And substitution on the floor now for the Saints. Their first. Lily Collins coming in now, number 10 for St. Clair.
Starting out like one of those 90s, Mike Tyson era heavyweight boxing matches. We're sparring here. We're coming with lefts. We're coming with jabs. We're not doing much, but we're figuring it out.
And nice finish by number 24 of the Saints, Janie Smith. A quick feeling out process here, as you mentioned, between both teams.
Another high ball screen here by the Wolves.
Wolves now with it, trying to drive in, try to get around the Saints defense, and does so. Nice finish by Sienna Miller here of the Wolves. And the Saints looking for an answer. Caitlin Overeem here with the ball now for the Saints. Shaylin Murphy. And what do you expect to see here as number 24 finishes again off the glass, Janine Smith? What do you expect to see here by the Algonquin Wolves being the best defensive team here of the East?
Well, I would assume here that we're going to see a lot of shadowing of Caitlin Overeem. The Saints run as she does. And if they can really, apply some pressure to her, get the ball out of her hands, and make some of those role players or secondary scorers be the ones putting the ball in the basket, then that's a win for the Wolves.
I talked to the head coach of the Algonquin Wolves before the game, Jamie McLean here, and I asked him a couple things. One, how was the travel? He said it was just fine. After the shoot-around yesterday, everyone was good to go. Everyone was well rested. But I did also ask him about the offense and the defense matchup here, and he did mention that they have a game plan for Overeem no matter where she goes, and he said everything together all the time. That's how they play their defense here on the Algonquin Wolves. Number 10 with a nice steal, though, by number 4, swiping that ball away.
That's Daisy McDonald, I think, is going to get issued that foul.
Saints going to keep it here. Number 24, Juna Smith here for the inbound for the Saints here. 14 seconds on the shot clock here. Shaylin Murphy puts up a 3, trying to put it in. No good. Rebounded here by Daisha McDonald for the Wolves. Wolves getting knocked out of the playoffs last year by the hands of the Lambton Lions in their semifinal matchup. Now facing off against the St. Clair Saints this year in the semifinals, trying to make it to the final against the Lions in the gold medal game here. Saints inbounding now. Caitlin Overeem with the ball now for the Saints. So far it's a close one, only 1 point dividing each team. Wolves up 6-5 against the Saints here. As you can hear, the Wolves fans cheering on Algonquin here. A nice rebound by number 12, Sienna
Good
Miller.
take there by Overeem. Usually pretty efficient finishing with the left, but unable to get that one to go.
And nearly stolen away by number 23, Shaylin Murphy of the Saints. Gets in between that pass. Last touch by a Wolf here, and now the Saints are going to get possession here. Try to get ahead on this one. St. Clair Saints, Shaylin Murphy with it here. Shaylin Murphy finds the lane, cuts inside, trying to get around the defender. Gets the tough shot to go.
Good patient whistle there, allowed the play to develop. I'm almost certain we would have had a call there if that ball didn't go in the basket, but that's the way FIBA wants the game refereed.
And nice play by the Wolves here, wide open in the paint. And nice finish off the glass for Algonquin to put themselves up by 1. Back and forth we go in this what we expected to be a seesaw matchup between these two great teams. Floater no good by Juna Smith here of the Saints. Saints has one of the best offenses in the league, averaging at least 70 points a game. Should be an interesting matchup against one of the best defensive teams in the OCAA.
Yeah, that's strength on strength, Kevin.
Nice finish by Livy Hurst there by the Algonquin Wolves, muscling her way in and through that shot. Caitlin Overeem now with it, nearly loses it.
Oh, what a play there. That's just good veteran basketball by Caitlin Overeem. Nice little floater there from the elbow. Defender overplays, looking for a steal, and she takes what the defense gives her.
Showing off the skills, showing herself why she's the scoring champion of the OCAA this year. A nice finish with the second chance opportunity by Megan McMara here of the Wolves. Caitlin Overeem, nice interception there by number 4, trying to save it and crashes into the board. Does number 4, Daisha McDonald.
What an acrobatic play.
And it looked like nothing happened.
Yeah, one of our game day staff there, Dallas, down there looking to fix the.
Looks like he's having a bit of a rough time here, trying to get that back on as Caitlin Overeem inbounds, but stolen away by number 22, all alone off the glass and finishes strong. Kate Dahmer here of the Algonquin Wolves. Nice steal with the finish. That puts the Wolves up here by 5.
Need a good possession here from the Saints. They get a good shot, Overeem overboard and a layup, and that's something that the Saints really needed there. They couldn't afford to have Algonquin come back out with an opportunity to extend the lead. So keeping it here within reach.
Daisha McDonald now with the ball for the Algonquin Wolves here. After the spill at the table, number 11 now off the feed, no good on the shot by Libby Hurst
the
here.
Saints to break here.
Kaylin Overeem finds Shaylin Murphy in the quarter. Wide open at the top here and puts it down, does number 10, Lily Collins here for the Saints. A big three-pointer, and that ties the game 14-14 here in the early going of this first quarter. Number 10 now, Chloe Lapointe now for the Wolves. Lapointe drives in, no good on the shot. Kaylin Overeem floats it over to number 10 here, Lily Collins, who is met in the post by number 11, Libby Hurst, and she draws the foul.
Foul issued here by Sabo president Chad Pereira. Veteran officiating crew on the call here today. Kevin, between Chad, the president of the local officiating board here, as well as Kayla Herdman, one of our executives. So a very, very Sarnia present crew here in terms of officiating for this semifinal matchup.
Which is perfect here for, while we host for the first time ever the OCAA Final Four here in Sarnia, Ontario. And no free throws to go down here by number 10, Lily Collins of the St. Clair Saints. Daisha McDonald here, the CCAA All-Canadian with the ball now, finds number 22, Kate Dahmer. Dahmer drives in, is met by Caitlin Overeem, and now number 5 bringing it down the floor with strength here. And they're going to call it here for the Saints.
Yep.
Little deliberation there. Had a bit
I
of a staring contest for a second.
What happened there, Kevin, the official on the end line is responsible for that line, and that was Kayla. And she just didn't have a good angle. Play came in from the other side, so she asked her partner for help. And partner came in, delivered the signal for St. Clair. And as a crew there, you're just trying to get the call right, especially early in a game, big matchup, lots of intensity. The most important thing is just doing what you can to ensure that you're coming out with the right results.
Absolutely, and in a close one so far. Saints up 15-14 against the Wolves here in this second semifinal matchup here tonight in the Den. And so far we have our first timeout called here by the St. Clair Saints. With it being such a close matchup, what do you think they're talking about on the bench here, even though they're up by 1?
I think, Kevin, what they're looking at is, again, trying to get a little bit more easy offense and easy opportunities. Being able to utilize a little bit more of a set offense. It seems like they've gotten most of their points so far off of second opportunities, or they've run through a set and, plays broken down or defenses has broken down, given it an open look. But I think we'd like to see a little bit more in terms of set offense, or Andy Kisswood, the coach of St. Clair, be able to utilize Caitlin Overeem and her abilities.
Andy Kiss being awarded the OCAA Coach of the Year this season. Nice feed, though, off the inbound by Caitlin Overeem.
It's a shame we couldn't get a shot off there.
Number 6 now with it, Lauren Overeem here. Back in the hands of number 10. Shot clock winding down, 7 seconds to go. 13 trying to drive in, and they're going to say last touch by the Wolves here, but off this inbound, not going to have a whole lot of time to work with. Only 3 seconds on the shot clock here.
You got to dig in and find your best inbound play and get this shot off.
Overeem inbounding here to Shaylin Murphy for 3. No good on the attempt, into the hands of the Wolves.
Well executed play, a little bit of an elevator, what we call 2 screeners kind of closing the gap, and unable to convert the good look, though.
And the Saints be able to steal this ball away from the Wolves off the transition here. Or the Saints trying to put up some more offense here. Number 13 drives in.
Great pass.
Saved by number 6 here, and no good on the attempt by Lauren Overeem.
Yeah, Sydney Moore unable to finish that. That's another easy one. Kevin, this might be something that we may be talking about a little bit later on in the game. If it continues to be close, or if St. Clair finds themselves down, a few of these easy looks and opportunities not going the way of the Saints. However, that went the way of the Saints, and we're going to have a three-point opportunity the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, Shaylin Murphy getting the call there and have a chance here for a three-point play for the St. Clair Saints. Try to put them up here against the Wolves with 2:03 left to play here in the first quarter. Number 24 checking in, Juna Smith here for the St. Clair Saints as well.
And Wolves find themselves in a penalty scenario as well, so St. Clair will be shooting the rest of the way.
Shaylin Murphy trying to convert here as distractions come from the crowd on the Algonquin Wolves side. Murphy, though, and no good on the attempt on the three-point play, but the Saints pick it back up here. A chance for more here for the Saints. Sydney Collins with it now. Back to Shaylin Murphy. 4 seconds on the shot clock here. Saints has to do something quick. Murphy drives in off the glass and no good on that attempt. Deja McDonald here for the Wolves now picking it up. Quick transition here for the Wolves. Number 10 finds. Number 13 puts up a shot, and a rare occurrence here.
You know what they call that in the business, Kevin? A wedgie.
Nice.
A wedgie.
We got a wedgie here in the 10 in this semifinal matchup. Now, had that gone in, would that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And thank you to our floor mopper here to get that unstuck for us, and the game continues on. Algonquin Wolves inbounding.
One of our international students here, Zach Bugapa, actually the only student we have here at Lambton College that is from Morocco.
Oh,
so, little piece of sidebar information there.
There you go. He makes his presence felt in this one. And Shaylin Murphy with it. Nearly stolen away by the Wolves. Oh, into the face of Daisha McDonald. But she takes it with stride here and puts it down off the turnover by the Saints.
Strong, composed finish there by McDonald, showing why she's a CCAA All-Canadian.
Yeah, OCAA East Player of the Year as well. First Team All-Star and East Defensive Player of the Year is Daisha McDonald, number 4 of the Algonquin Wolves. Collins for 3 off the board there. And into the hands of number 22 of the Wolves, Kate Dahmer. The Wolves here taking their time. As time winding down here in the first quarter. Number 6 trying to get around the defense and does so. Nice finish.
Beautiful little step through move there. That's Giannis Antetokounmpo-esque.
Sydney Moore with the finish. And now the Saints looking for an answer. It is a close one here as we wrap up this first quarter. Collins trying to go for a 3. Wolves pick it up here. Wolves up 18-17. Nice pass. And too much off the glass here. Number 6 with it. Lauren Overeem trying to go for the last second shot. Puts one up. Tough shot to put up, but had to put something up with the time winding down. And with that, the Wolves lead 18-17 heading into the second quarter here in our second semifinal matchup of the game. And Matt, it's a close one, but we had kind of expected that heading into this one.
That's what I was just going to say, Kevin, is that first quarter is kind of everything that we expected. Again, a little bit of a feeling out process at first. Slow out of the gates, both teams trying to figure out what type of defensive strategies or, defensive alignments they were going to see or face. And then we saw the scoring pick up in the latter half of that first quarter. So we're noticing that Algonquin really likes to get out on the break. Deja McDonald's great at pushing the ball up the floor. And on the flip side, again, we can't say it enough. Caitlin Overeem is the engine that drives the Saints team. And if they're going to come out on top, they're really going to need to get her going a little bit more in the second quarter.
Wolves doing a great job, though, in shutting down Caitlin Overeem's shooting thus far. And we expect to see more of the same here heading into the second quarter.
As you said, you can tell in that first quarter that Algonquin has game plans for her, and for that, And as we said, the Saints go as she goes, and that's where, that defensive strategy really comes into play.
And we talked about the crowd earlier, and we see the crowd here in the den. That's on the side of the Algonquin Wolves, and you might be wondering why they're wearing the yellow hard hats. And I actually went down there to talk to one of the parents wearing the hard hats, and he let me know that the story is at the end of every Algonquin game in Ottawa, they award a hard hat basically to signify a player of the game. And thus far, all the parents have banded together to wear these hard hats because they're going to be putting in the work tonight, cheering on their Algonquin Wolves team here on the sidelines. And that's why the hard hats that you see on the screen there.
The 16th person on the bench, you could say, are the fans in the crowd, and they're all wearing their hard hats.
And they're making a lot of noise here so far in this one as we start off the second quarter. Wolves with it now. Number 22, Kate Dahmer, back into the hands of Daisha McDonald here. And number 6 putting up a shot, no good on the attempt. And second chance by Dahmer here, trying to fight for it. Third chance opportunity now for the Wolves. Kicks it back out to number 8, Leah Hurst, who puts it down for the 3. Big shot by Hurst.
Hurst had a fantastic game so far, Kevin. She's really been an igniter, I guess you could say, for that Algonquin offense.
And a travel called here on the Saints, number 5. Anna Bluklerowitz getting caught with the travel. And now a turnover here by the Saints into the hands of the Wolves. Daisha McDonald now with it for Algonquin. McDonald finds a lane pull up. No good on the attempt. And nice job by Kaylin Overeem letting that one go out of bounds off last touch by Daisha McDonald here of the Wolves. St. Clair going to bring it back the other way. Saints last defeated the Durham Lords in their crossover qualifier to get to the quarterfinals 75-37, and last Saturday defeated the George Brown Huskies 87-53 to get to this semifinal here tonight. A nice finish by Shaylin Murphy, number 23.
Another second chance opportunity for the Saints. And that's really where they've been able to put points on the board so far, Kevin.
And the Wolves trying to look for an answer, and a high shot here off the glass gets it to go. Nice finish by Kate Dahmer of the Algonquin Wolves. Shaylin Murphy now with the ball, only has 3 points to her name. As soon as I say that, she puts up a 3, and that one hits the top. And that one, would that be considered out of bounds, I'm assuming?
That's out of bounds, yeah. That hits the stanchion or whatever you want to call it up there. And
the support.
Yeah, the support strap, whatever it is. And, that's technically considered out of play.
So the Wolves looking to take advantage now. They're up by 4 here to start off this second quarter. Daisha McDonald now bringing it down for, number 12, Sienna Miller. Back into the hands here for a three-pointer, no good, in and out. And picked up here by the Wolves. Daisha McDonald now with it back to Kate Dahmer. Dahmer with a long 2 foot just over the line there. Nice stave there by Daisha McDonald. Number 8 now with it, Leah Hurst. And they're going to call a travel here on number 13, Piper Patherall here of the Wolves.
A great on-ball defense by the Saints. A little bit clumsy in terms of, the offensive rebound. McDonald flying in there, keeping the ball alive. But, Andy Kiss's team, they just do what they normally do. And we've come accustomed to seeing this from St. Clair. They just stay responsible on the defensive end and make it difficult for the other team to get into their sets.
Yeah, I spoke to Andy Kiss before the game as well, and I asked him about the offense and the defense here. Offense, one of the best offenses in the league for the St. Clair Saints, and then one of the best defenses in the league with the Algonquin Wolves. And I asked him how he thought this one would go, and he said basically he sees both these teams as a mirror image of themselves. Man-to-man defense, guard-heavy teams, but also 2 All-Canadians, and he expected a close one with this one.
Interesting matchup here. We see St. Clair picking up Daisha McDonald full court.
And now number 12 here for the Algonquin Wolves. Sienna Miller has it. Back to 13. Hatherall. Wolves trying to put one up here. Puts up a 3, no good. And This time unsuccessful on the save from going out of bounds for Daisha McDonald.
Boy, she's active though, Kevin.
Oh, absolutely. She is everywhere.
She is moving.
Even
off the
crashing in
ball.
from the table.
Yeah.
Still moving.
I think Dallas has finally got that end of the table figured out.
Caitlin Overeem finds Juna Smith here off the pass. Juna Smith trying to get around Algonquin's defense. Nice moves by Juna Smith. Pull-up jumper and gets it to go and cuts the lead down to 2 here against the Wolves. Kate Dahmer trying to get it across half court. A nice defense here by the Saints.
Saints go down, get a nice make from Janae Smith, and then come back out. A little bit of trap, put the pressure on them, force a turnover, and now you got an opportunity to tie or take the lead.
And now the Saints with it here. Juna Smith nearly loses it. Picks it up though, finds number 5, Kuklerowicz for 3, and no good on the attempt. And we said it before, Daisha McDonald right there with the rebound here for the Wolves.
Undersized, but loves to rebound, and great athleticism McDonald has.
I feel like that'll be all the difference here for the Wolves against the Saints. And that one's gonna go out of bounds.
Defender did an excellent job forcing the Algonquin player into an awkward spot on the floor, kind of threw the ball up behind the basket, nowhere to go, and at that point you're just hoping.
Now Caitlin Overeem with it. Nearly stolen away into the hands now. Juna Smith here for the Saints. Smith finds Overeem. Overeem finds a lane and puts
what
one
a beautiful
down.
finish. Said it earlier in the broadcast there. Fantastic with their left hand, and shows us why right there.
Nice feed though by the Wolves, and they're going to call a foul here. Number 13, Piper Catherall here, drawing the foul on the Saints. Saints, that one goes to number 3. That'll be her second on Caitlin Overeem. Already her second foul here in the second.
Still 5:38 left. It'll be interesting to see what Andy Kiss decides to do here, whether he kind of leaves Caitlin in, being the 5th-year senior that she is, and just hoping that, you know, she can avoid, you know, a precarious situation or two and not pick up that third one, or does he elect to maybe give her a few minutes on the bench?
Nice feed by Overeem, speaking of her, to Collins with the finish off the glass here for the Saints. That puts them up now by 1. Back and forth we go with the lead here. Saints now have it. Overeem with it. Juna Smith thought about it from 3, cuts in inside instead, and no good on the shot, but Shaylin Murphy saves it to Collins for 3 in the corner, and no good on the attempt here, picked up by Chloe Lapointe.
You know, we've said a lot about Deja McDonald and her ability as an undersized player to rebound, but Shaylin Murphy's done a fantastic job the same way for the Saints here.
And with that, like, as soon as you say it, she steals it away and brings it back the other way. Caitlin Overeem with a big 3 from number 3 here for the Saints.
Well, and that answers your question. Andy Kiss is leaving her in there.
And that's 8 points now to her name. So far, the Wolves, though, has been doing a great job at shutting down her offense. But a big 3 there by the leading scorer here in the OCAA by Caitlin Overeem.
Wolves need an answer here. They need some points. Momentum's moving in St. Clair's favor. They've extended the lead to 4. And a great offensive play. Again, when you need a bucket, who do you go to?
Exactly. And now the Wolves, nearly with a shot clock violation here, draws a foul with literally 1 second on the shot clock left. We have a number of substitutions coming in now for the Algonquin Wolves. Number 14 checking in, Megan McMara, as well as number 4, Daisha McDonald, and number 11, Libby Hurst coming back into the game here. And number 11 for the St. Clair Saints, as well as number 12, Sienna Miller makes her first from the free throw line. Number 11 checking in, Chelsea Creep here for the St. Clair Saints. 4:20 left to play here.
Sienna Miller, good on the first.
And Miller makes her second as well from the free throw line here. We knew it would be close, but this has been consistent so far on both ends of the floor by both teams.
That's a great call there by crew chief Chad Pereira. RSBQ, hand gets in there, affects the rhythm of the dribbler. textbook every time.
That's the first foul on number 10 of the Wolves here, Chloe Lapointe. And now the Saints going to keep possession here. Caitlin Overeem trying to get around the defense here and can't do so. Wolves gets in between the pass here. Dacia McDonald.
Oh, great rim run there.
Nice find and feed here. Number 14 for three and puts it down. Megan McNamara with the finish here for the Wolves. A big three-pointer.
That play was really made by Libby Hurst. Again, just doing, the little things. Rim running, get in there, a little bit of an overlap, gets the ball dumped in, and then finds the shooter in the corner.
Lou Klarowitz with a step back here, shot for the Saints. No good on the attempt. Wolves going to bring it back the other way, try to add some more points onto the board here as we get close to the end of the first half. Dacia McDonald thought about it, puts it up for three, no good on the attempt.
Gets right in there, gets her own rebound.
She is so quick after the shot, and no good on the second chance attempt here. Number 14 for three and the finish, Megan McNamara, another one for her and the Wolves.
That is all heart and hustle by Dacia McDonald. 2 offensive rebounds, 1 on her own shot, another off the ball, and then finds the shooter up top, open three. Those are the kinds of plays that'll get you into a gold medal game.
And the Wolves on the sideline here, all the parents hyped after that one, and a timeout called, the last one called by the St. Clair Saints, trying to recover here, gain some momentum back here before the end of the first half.
Yeah, we've seen this game's been a game of runs so far. Algonquin came out early in the first quarter. They were able to, get themselves a little bit of an advantage, 4 or 5 points. St. Clair battles all the way back. They go up 28-24, and now we find ourselves here with a 8-0 run by the Wolves to climb them back up 32-28. So we'll see if the Saints are able to answer and, again, get back to doing the things that they are so good at. And offensively, that means getting the ball into the hands of Caitlin Overeem, letting her create, and, again, finding those open lanes.
Absolutely, and we're getting set here after the timeout. St. Clair Saints hit the floor first. As you mentioned, Wolves ahead here 32-28 against the Saints. Final 3 minutes and 12 seconds here of the first half to determine who will face against the Lambton Lions tomorrow at home in the gold medal game, and who will go on to the bronze medal game to take on the Niagara Knights, as the St. Clair Saints, Caitlin Overeem coming down the floor now for the
Illegal
Saints.
Screen, great call.
And right away, a turnover here by the Saints.
Yeah, it's the old time and space there, Kevin. You have to give the defender an opportunity to see the screen, and then you also have to be set yourself. And I don't think either of those criteria were met on that play by number 5, Bukarowicz.
And the Wolves here putting up a three, no good on the attempt. Trying to save it from going out of bounds did Megan McNamara, but no good on the attempt. Now the Saints gonna march back the other way. It's first march I've said so far this game. Usually I say a few.
Well, we are into March, so.
Another pun, there we go. And now the Saints with it, number 11, Chelsea Creek. Back to Juna Smith here for the Saints. Chelsea puts up a three and puts it in. That's a big three-pointer here.
That is a big answer.
For the Saints here, that puts them down by 1.
That is a big answer.
Dacia McDonald now for the Wolves here.
A little bit of a triangle offense here.
Number 10 now with it for the Wolves.
Oh, what a pass.
And nice feed. Number 11 with the finish, Libby Hurst for the Algonquin Wolves here.
Yeah, Libby's had herself a solid first half here.
Pull-up jumper by Overeem, no good on the attempt from the free throw line, picked up now by the Wolves. Wolves now with it, Sienna Miller. Back to McNamara, had a couple of big shots here before the timeout called. And nice hands by Overeem, getting her hands on that one.
Yeah, Overeem's got to be careful.
Shot clock winding down, and no good on the attempt by McDonald on that three-pointer. And you're right, Overeem was And welcome back to the second half on this one between the Algonquin Wolves and the St. Clair Saints in this second semifinal matchup here in OCAA Final Four weekend, for the first time being hosted in Sarnia, Ontario, as the Wolves come out strong with another 2 points for them. The Wolves were up 41-34 now after that one.
Another great play by Libby Hurst there. She's really making her mark on this game this evening.
And the biggest stat coming out of the first half, the Algonquin Wolves getting most of their points in the paint, 24 versus St. Clair's 18. And also the lead changes. We talked about it a bit in the first half. There were 6 lead changes, and at 2 points, the game was tied. And so probably a little bit more of that to come in the second half, and we knew it would be a close one from the beginning here.
Wolves are looking to extend here. Another good offensive possession, getting deep into the shot clock, and who to give it to other than Libby Hurst, who's been phenomenal so far this evening.
Absolutely, Libby Hurst with 12 points to her name, along with 5 rebounds. Number 14 for the Algonquin Wolves. Daisha McDonald now set to inbound for the Wolves here. Finds number 14, Megan McMara, for 3. No good on the attempt, nearly a shot clock violation. Able to get a shot off with enough time, and we mentioned it before, but even though there's less people here in the den, there's quite a bit of noise still coming from both sides of the floor.
It is loud and it is active in here. Yeah, that's 2 hands on the dribbler. That's going to be a foul every time. The Saints just look out of sorts so far, even here to start the third quarter. I haven't seen a good offensive possession yet from them, the danger that they're running into now is they're not answering, the points put on the board by Algonquin the other way. And if they don't address this with some good offensive possessions here early, it may get out of hand.
The Wolves doing a great job at shutting down not only the St. Clair Saints offense, which is 3rd best in the league, averaging 70 points a game, doing a great job at shutting down the OCAA scoring champion, number 3, Caitlin Overeem of the St. Clair Saints right now. Still has 11 points to her name with 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. But the Wolves showing why they're the best defensive team in the East in this one against the Saints.
Great step-through move.
Nice finish by Daisha McDonald, number 4 of the Algonquin Wolves here. And the Saints looking for an answer here as the Wolves have slowly started to kind of run away with this one at the beginning of the third.
That one's going to be on McDonald there.
And this one to determine who will face the Lambton Lions at home tomorrow night at 5:30 in the gold medal final. And whoever loses will take on the Niagara Knights in the bronze medal game tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Again, just not a great pass there by Bakarowitz. And, I mean, it ends up working out okay as the Saints keep the ball. But it just felt rushed. There's no need to make that pass. Use the high screen, settle down, get yourself a good look, just like Caitlin Overeem did there.
Yeah, Caitlin
but
Overeem.
Unfortunately unable to finish.
Yeah, driving on that one. No good on the attempt by Overeem there by the Saints. And now the Wolves looking to do some quick work here on offense against the Saints here. Number 6 driving in to Sydney Moore. Sydney Moore kicks back out here. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Trying to go for the extra pass. Nearly loses it. Saints doing a great job on defense here. Daisha McDonald deep from 3, trying to bank it in, and picked up by Aina Buklarowicz here for the Saints. McDonald.
Again, just another sloppy pass and a very deep 3 by Caitlin Overeem.
Caitlin Overeem had a big deep 3 in the first quarter as well, but that one a little bit too much for her.
Excellent play there by Bakarowitz, getting onto the floor, getting the ball back for her team. Opportunity here, shot clock counting down.
Shaylin Murphy driving in, and right now a little bit slow to get to her feet, holding on the right ankle here. We're going to pan away as per OCAA rules here. We can't show anybody injured on the floor, but she seems to be getting onto her feet, limping, but nonetheless able to get to her feet. Shaylin Murphy limping her way towards the bench. We have number 6 checking in now, Lauren Overeem, as Shaylin Murphy is going to get checked out here by the trainers. Hopefully she is okay.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because you know what? She's made a few plays here for St. Clair this afternoon that has really impacted them, especially on the offensive end. Being able to get a few offensive rebounds, creating new possessions for her team, So hopefully she's able to come back.
Absolutely. Shaylin Murphy had 6 points and 3 rebounds in the first half. Big difference maker for the Saints. And now a turnover here by St. Clair, going in the possession here of the Wolves. Number 4, Deja McDonald now with it. Finds Sydney Moore. Number 14 with the 3, no good on the attempt. But Deja McDonald there with the rebound, and they're going to call a foul.
Excellent call there. 5 gets her hand right into the back of Deja McDonald. Loose ball foul. No team control, so it'll just be end line out of bounds.
Buklarowicz, that's her second foul of the game here for St. Clair. And McDonald looking for an inbound here. Finds number 11, Hurst, puts it in for the Wolves. Wolves now with the largest lead of the game at 11 points, up 45-34.
Boy, do the Saints need to put points on the board bad here. Here it looks like it'll be end line possession, so they're ruling the foul happened before the gather.
We're going to call the foul here on number 6 on the Algonquin Wolves. Sydney Moore, that'll be her second foul of the game. Number 10 checking in as well for the Saints, Lily Collins. As the Saints get set to inbound.
Sorry, the Saints just need to slow down offensively. I haven't seen one good possession yet in the second half.
Overeem catch and shoot for 3, no good on the attempt. It just seems like they're rushed here on offense. And another foul here on Buklarowicz.
I definitely don't mind that shot by Overeem there. That might be one of the better looks they've got. But again, as you said, Kevin, you have the 24 seconds on the shot clock. See a little bit more of a controlled offensive effort. I mean, 11 points is not a lot. We've seen in this league many times teams come back from larger deficits. So this one's not over by any stretch of the imagination, as long as St. Clair can make some amendments to their offensive game this quarter.
Absolutely, but the Wolves roll on here with possession of the ball. Deja McDonald inbounding to number 10, Chloe Lapointe, as they look to continue to pour it on here against the Saints. But nearly stolen away by Caitlin Overeem. But loses it. And Deja McDonald picks up the loose ball here off the steal by Overeem. Saints trying to build some momentum. A deep 2 here by McDonald. No good on the attempt here. Picked up by the Saints. And number 24, Juna Smith, finds Buklarowicz. Drives in, nice step around the defender, no good on the attempt here. And it's double teamed here, but the Wolves get it out and get it across.
Well, we mentioned in the first half, Kevin, we didn't have a lot of fouls. I think 10 total.
It was 10, yes.
5
for each
five
team.
on each side. And we've come out here in the first 4 minutes and 16 seconds, and we've got 7 fouls. And the Saints are now in a penalty scenario, so the Wolves will be shooting the rest of the way.
And the Saints with that call their first of 3 timeouts available here in the second half as they look to regroup, as the Wolves have built up quite the lead against them after the close back and forth affair that we saw in the first half, with 6 lead changes between them and 2 tied scores. Now the Wolves up by 11 here against the Saints. And I know you talked about it, but with the timeout here, what do you think the Saints are going to try to come out with here against the Wolves?
I think the idea is start on the defensive side of the ball here. They've allowed the Wolves to really get a few easy opportunities, open looks, and they've never really been able to build off of it, build off of their defense with their offense. So again, I think it starts with being able to manage a little bit better. Maybe it's throwing a different look. Maybe going into a zone. Maybe it's playing a different sort of help. But forcing the Wolves to maybe have a second thought or two when they're taking the ball into the paint. And then again, be able to build off those defensive stops to get offensive opportunities.
And both teams coming back out the floor here off the timeout called by the Saints. Wolves looking inbound here. Kate Dahmer with it now for the Wolves. Wolves trying to go to another finals appearance here as McDonald doesn't count the 3, foul away from the ball.
Yeah, we have an illegal screen there.
And no good on the three-pointer. I should say was good, but does not count from the foul. Saints going to take it back the other way here, trying to build up some momentum in their favor, try to get back into this one.
And it's exactly as we talked about in the timeout, Kevin. The defense will feed the offense. Starts on the defensive end of the floor, and again, one possession at a time here.
Caitlin over.
Get a good look, be calm offensively, utilize your sets, and go from there.
Saints looks good so far coming out from this timeout, taking their time here on offense, but no good on the attempt here. Wolves pick it up, bring it back the other way. Number 12 with it, Sienna Miller.
We mentioned in the first half about St. Clair missing some easy looks and easy opportunities, and it came back there again, reared its ugly head.
Number 12 with the finish, Sienna Miller for 3 for the Wolves. And that would, I would imagine, be very defeating for the Saints here off that big three-pointer.
Yeah, it's again those easy looks and easy opportunities. If those layups are made, we'd be looking at a very different story here in terms of the scoreboard.
Now the Wolves look to continue to pour it on here. Number 12, Sienna Miller, now with it for the Wolves off the big three-pointer that they just had on the other possession here. Number 11, Hurst. 7 seconds on the shot clock to work with here. Great job by defense here on the Saints, forcing that one to go out of bounds and only 3 seconds to work with on the shot clock after the inbound here by the Saints. Substitution on the floor now for Algonquin. Number 13 checking into the game. Piper Hatherall here. And stolen away by Collins, trying to catch it from going out of bounds.
Great play, and there's Shaylin Murphy back on, or sorry, that's Janae Smith.
Janae Smith with the finish here for the Saints, much needed. Try to build some momentum in their favor, and the Saints now all over the Algonquin Wolves.
Again, a little bit of a different look. Aggressive defense, forcing ball handlers to pick the ball up. And again, the defense is feeding the offense here for the Saints. It's what they need to do to get this back in. I think the idea is, 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. If you can get it to 6 or 8 by the end of the quarter, I think Andy Kish would take that.
Wolves here trying to put another one on, and foul called here on the Wolves. Saints going to take it back the other way.
Another illegal screen, so that might be something to look to, or that the Wolves are going to need to address here is, again, being in good position when you're making and setting those screens.
And great job by the Saints not touching that ball, letting it go across half court to not start the shot clock here. Caitlin. Wolves inbounding here, finds Kate Dahmer on the other end. Hurst now with it. Hurst kicks back out. 7 seconds on the shot clock here, is double teamed in the post. Dacia McDonald, 2 seconds left to work with here. Can't put up a shot. Great job on defense by the Saints. And as you mentioned, defense can lead to offense now here for St. Clair.
And the intensity's just picked up, Kevin. This is just a team that's playing with defensive intensity, and that intensity is now spreading over to the offensive end of the floor. And again, they're remaining calm. They're getting into their sets. Good open looks like that one.
Collins with a long 2, no good on the attempt.
And we're going to have a penalty scenario here.
They're going to call
will be
foul.
shooting.
Foul away from the ball, it looks like. Wolves now are going to get set to shoot 2 here. Number 13 going to the free throw line, Piper Hatherall here for the Wolves. And makes her first attempt.
And this is going to be important down the stretch. Algonquin's ability to be able to make free throws. Clutch scenario, clutch situation. You find yourself up, you're going to find yourself at the line. And again, it's not letting this scenario become larger than your ability.
Wolves now with the biggest lead of the game, 12 points as Juna Smith trying to put up a long 2 here, no good by the Saints. A long pass all alone in the post and finishes strong. Does Leah Hurst for the Wolves here as they continue to pour it on against the Saints. They're looking to go to that final matchup against the Lambton College Lions tomorrow in the gold medal game, which would be a rematch from last year's semifinal in Niagara, no less.
Now Overeem there, a little bit aggressive on that take. Found herself in no man's land, as you'd say, and you throw the ball up and just hope at that point, but
Sienna Miller loses it, but the Wolves pick it up here, and Daisha McDonald with the huge 3 for the Wolves. And
you can feel this game just getting extended out, Kevin.
That is crushing here.
The cream rises to the top, and you can feel Algonquin getting itself, ready to rise, I guess you could say.
Absolutely. The Wolves feeling the momentum here, building for them. Nice block, though, by Juna Smith. Loose ball here. Couple of spills on the floor. And you can hear the Wolves head coach frustration on the sideline here, Jamie McLean.
We're going to have a discussion here.
As an OCAA official yourself, what do you think they're discussing down there?
I think what came out of that there is we had a pushing foul, and again, no team control. So I think the discussion is, was it an offensive foul? Was it a team control foul? Meaning no player was in control of the ball. If no player was in control of the ball, then we have a penalty scenario.
Okay.
But if it is an offensive foul, you don't shoot free throws or you don't shoot the penalty shots if it's an offensive foul. So I think it's just the crew getting together there and being able to figure out what the scenario was.
Making sure they had the right call here in this semifinal game as Juna Smith makes both of her free throws from the free throw line here for the Saints, cuts the lead down to 15, but the Wolves have the momentum here late in the third quarter, heading into the fourth and final quarter. Minute 43 left to play here in the third.
The Saints need stops in a bad way right now.
Number 8, Hurst has it, puts up a 3 and knocks it down.
What a night by the 2 Hurst.
Hurst just all over with that 3-pointer. The Saints trying to look for an answer here, and she draws a foul in the post here. Number 11, Chelsea Creek, going to the line now to shoot a couple free throws for the Saints. But it seems to be that the Wolves just keep on rolling no matter what the Saints kind of try to bring at them.
Yeah, it's really been the tale of the third quarter, Kevin, has been the fact that the Wolves have been able to do and get whatever they want offensively. And on the flip side of it, the Saints really haven't found their navigational beacon when it comes to the offensive end of the floor.
And so far, both attempts not failed here by number 11, Chelsea Creek. Nearly crashed into Tyler Bennett there on the sideline, trying to save that one from going out of bounds. Wolves looking to inbound here with a minute 25 left to play in the third. Nice inbound here. Nice inbound by the Wolves here, getting around the Saints defense. Number 8 gets it out here, but stolen away, or at least is close here. Saints trying to fight for every possession here, trying to get some offense rolling for the Saints.
I think that's really been one of the differences so far is the balanced attack, whether it's Deja McDonald or Sienna Miller, Libby Hurst, Leah Hurst. They've been able to find offense from so many different sources, and the Saints have just been so reliant on their superstar.
Lily Collins set to shoot 2 here from the free throw line. Makes her first. And misses her second. I was going to say despite the noise, but can't make the second free throw. Number 6 now with it for the Wolves, Sydney Moore. Back to Miller. Miller trying to get around the Saints here. Collins just scoops it up though. Wide open here, but is met all the way on the other end by number 6, Sydney Moore. Great. Turned on the Jets there to make it to the other end of the floor, and she's going to draw the foul here.
Good veteran play there. Knows that the defender's coming in and maybe has a bit of speed on her coming in from behind. Knowing your body placement, being able to square off the defender and force her to go through you when she's challenging that shot.
Lily Collins back at the free throw line here, shooting a couple for the Saints. Makes her first this time. And misses her second. And this one's going to go out of bounds here. Number 8 also checking on the floor here for the Wolves, Leah Hurst, now in the game for the Algonquin Wolves here with 55.5 left to play in the third. Time winding down here, heading into the fourth quarter. Wolves pick it up here. Caitlin Overeem wanted a call, but no good. Wolves have it. Dahmer with it, trying to drive, and they're going to call a charge here on the Wolves.
Yeah, player control foul.
That's the second foul on number 22 here, Kate Dahmer of the Wolves. Caitlin Overeem and the Saints trying to build some momentum here on offense. Overeem finds a lane, kicks back out to Collins here for 3. No good on the attempt, last touch by the Wolves.
Again, it's finding that secondary scoring. Overeem's doing a great job driving, getting into the paint, having help collapse, kicking it to her teammates for open looks, but they just can't seem to get any of them to go.
Can't seem to get a shooting rhythm going, as does the Saints, and the Wolves continue to pour it on here. And they're going to call no good on the shot attempt. Saying a foul on the play.
Much to the dismay of the Algonquin coach, beside himself there.
Very animated on the sideline here.
Yeah, we'll see if that gets addressed at some point.
And he's talking to the ref still. He's trying to get him to calm down here as the Saints look to have the final possession here of the third quarter. Caitlin Overeem taking her time now with the Saints. Clair was trying to set a screen. Overeem drives in, splits the defense, and puts one in off the glass. Great job by Overeem. And they're going to let the clock wind down here as the third quarter comes to an end. Saints starting to build something at the end there, it looks like, heading into the fourth quarter, but the Wolves poured it on here in the third against the Saints. They lead 58-44 heading into the fourth and final quarter. The winner of this one will meet the Lambton College Lions in the gold medal game tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 p.m. and the bronze medal game at 2 p.m. tomorrow here in the Den. And whoever loses this one will meet the Niagara Knights.
Going back to what we were saying earlier, Kevin, about this being a game of runs. Even in this quarter, the Wolves came out in the third. They came out, extended the lead, got it into double digits. St. Clair came back under 4 minutes, 3 and change, we'll say. I think they had it down to 7. And then Algonquin extends it out again, and St. Clair, utilizing the penalty scenario and some free throws to try to bring it back to 14 here. So again, it seems to be, consistent in terms of the teams making a run. But the idea now is, do the Saints have enough left in the tank? Does Caitlin Overeem have enough left in the tank? She's been on the floor for a good chunk of this game. I'm not sure if she's come off yet, but this is where. Superstars and legends are made, they say, is in scenarios like this. And Caitlin Overeem's been everything, nothing short of a superstar so far.
And you can see the Saints side of the stands here cheering on the St. Clair Saints, traveling all the way from Windsor. Cheer on the Saints to try to make it to the finals tomorrow afternoon. A lot of signs, a lot of clappers, a lot of noise, as we both have heard here in the den, and I'm sure has come across in the broadcast as well. I'm hoping you can even hear us at the moment.
I guess that's one of the things. Great producer back there letting us know. I'm sure if we were having any issues, but yeah, here we go. Ready for the fourth quarter. Saints will start with the ball, and we'll see if they're able to, again, settle in, run their sets, and then hopefully be able to capitalize on some of those good looks that they are getting from time to time.
And hopefully try to get some good looks for number 3 who has the ball, Caitlin Overeem, OCAA scoring champion for the season, averaging at least 20 points a game. So far the Wolves have withheld her to 15 points heading into the fourth quarter, and in just their last game alone, she ended with the stat line of 34 points and 5 rebounds, and so far the Wolves holding her back to at least 15 heading into the fourth quarter to start. And the Saints now picking up the loose ball after the missed attempt here by the Wolves. Saints trying to build some momentum in their favor here in the fourth quarter. Caitlin Overeem finds a lane, drives in.
Great finish with the left. Unable to get it to go, though.
Yeah, still a good look for Overeem. No good on the attempt, though. Wolves pick it up, try to bring it back the other way. Sienna Miller with it now for Algonquin. Algonquin looking for their first gold since 2014. Went on a run 4 years in a row, winning OCAA championship. And the Saints looking for their first OCAA championship since 2004. That's what both teams are fighting for here this evening here in the den.
A little bit of a mental error there by St. Clair, and those are the things that you can't have happen when you're trying to battle back from a 14-point deficit.
And the Wolves set to inbound here. Daisha McDonald, and what a game that she has had here for the Wolves. Nice look by number 11, but couldn't finish by Libby Hurst, especially the Hursts here for the Wolves.
She's had a fantastic game so far. Her ender, I would assume, is her sister. Leah both impacted this game in various ways.
Overeem with it now for the Saints. Buklarowicz for 3, and no good on the attempt, much to her frustration. Off the missed 3 here.
Again, I'm sure if you were to ask the Algonquin coaching staff, what they were looking for, what they would like defensively, it's these long contested threes.
Overeem, speaking of which, with a long 3 here, no good on the attempt by Overeem. And they're going to call a foul here on the play. Saints are going to keep possession. And the 4th foul being called here on number 10 of the Wolves, Chloe Lapointe.
Oh yeah, running right through the screener there. And that might be it, if that's on Lapointe.
Hands on her head here. I think that one's on her. She is out of this game. That's her 5th and final foul. Chloe Lapointe taking a permanent seat on the bench for the time being for this one.
Another demonstrative reaction by the Algonquin coach.
Sienna Miller checking into this one for the Wolves as Chloe Lapointe takes a permanent seat on the bench for this one. And a long 3 by Overeem, no good. Deja McDonald right there, as she always is. And this one.
Seems like we've said that a lot today, Kevin.
Deja McDonald has 3 fouls to her name as well. And Dahmer for 3 in and out. But second chance here by the Wolves potentially. Saints doing a great job here on defense, trying to steal that away. 12 seconds on the shot clock here. Wolves going to inbound.
Oh, we're going back up to 14. Okay.
Never mind. Daisha McDonald finds number 11 here on the inbound, Libby Hurst. McDonald, though, for a long 2, it looked like. And Saints going to let that one go out of bounds. Not a whole lot of offense here in the beginning of the fourth quarter.
No, we do not. And the Saints have struggled, as we said, this entire half offensively. And again, it just seems like they keep settling for long 3s. And as we said earlier, I think if you were to ask the Algonquin coaching staff what they want these Saints taking long contested 3s. So they've got to help themselves get better looks here.
And Overeem trying to drive in, but defender all over her. Not a great look for Overeem, and we keep mentioning that one. Not a whole lot of great looks offered here.
It's a great get. Great get there. A little shove off the ball. Can't do that.
Number 11 for the Wolves here. That's her third foul of the game for Libby Hurst here. Few players on the Wolves in foul trouble. Number 12 now with it, Sienna Miller for the Wolves. Dahmer now with it, 9 seconds on the shot clock here. Gets in the post, kicks back out to Deja McDonald, and she gets fouled. And I believe we'll shoot 3 here.
That one's actually called on the ground there, Kevin.
Okay.
So the shooter returned to the floor, and when they returned to the floor, they were then contacted by the defender. So it's just going to be a common foul end line inbound.
And
a little bit of action there. We'll see. Going to have a little bit of a conference by the officials. There definitely was a shove there. See if they want to address this.
This one's starting to get a little chippy, and now they're going to ask both teams to go back to their respective sidelines here as they deliberate. And
it's important at this point in the game, for the crew to be able to get together, understand, bring information to each other as far as what was seen and what happened, what didn't happen, whatever it is, and be able to deal with this. Because like you said, you can feel that the game's starting to turn a little bit. We're getting a couple uglier plays, some shoves, some pushing.
It's starting to get a little chippy.
Exactly. So, you want to address this, nip it in the bud, and hopefully be able to bring this game back down a couple notches.
7:20 left to play here in the fourth quarter. This one, as we mentioned, starting to get a little chippy between the Saints and the Wolves, and Jamie McClenn, the head coach of the Algonquin Wolves, especially getting a little bit animated on the sideline. You mentioned that the referees might be checking that one too. As
unsportsmanlike foul issued to white 11. So green is now going to shoot 2 shots. St. Clair's going to shoot 2, and then they'll get the ball in the front court.
Okay, so that'll be the 4th foul for number 11, then Libby Hurst, who has 16 points to her name. She is leading the charge here for the Algonquin Wolves on offense, and she is in foul trouble. Caitlin Overeem at the line here for the Saints to shoot a couple free throws here, and as you mentioned, they have possession after this as well.
And this is the recipe for St. Clair to have success. You're down. You want to be able to shoot as many free throws as you can. Be able to cut away at that lead while the clock is stopped. Give yourself some time to be able to get back into this ballgame.
And the Saints now with possession once again. Juna Smith's inbounding here to Caitlin Overeem. Overeem, 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Overeem with it. Long pass over to Buklarowicz, back to Juna Smith. 5 seconds on the shot clock here. Collins with it. Another pass and a shot clock violation. Great job on defense. That is why they're the best defensive team in the East here, causing a shot clock violation on the Saints.
Again, though, Algonquin forcing the ball out of Overeem's hands. And the secondary scorers for the Saints aren't able to develop anything there, not even able to get a shot up, before that buzzer went off.
Kate Dahmer now with it for the Wolves. Back to number 11, who banks it in from the free throw line. Nice job by Libby Hurst here. Adds to her total. Now Collins with it for the Saints, and stolen away by Daisha McDonald here for the Wolves. A little miscommunication on the pass. Daisha McDonald and the Wolves looking to take advantage here off the turnover. Nearly loses it. And into the hands now of Kate Dahmer, number 22. 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Dahmer splits the defender but draws the foul.
Great play there, high ball screen. Used it. There was no switch, no hedge, nothing like that from the Saints secondary defender. And it allows the Wolves a free run at the rim.
And that'll be the 4th foul now on number 3, Caitlin Overeem, which would be huge here for the Saints, especially coming down the stretch here against the Wolves in this semifinal matchup here.
She's got to be careful the rest of the way.
Kate Dahmer with a high arcing free throw shot. That one bounces in though and makes her first attempt at the free throw line. And same with the second. Wolves build onto their lead here, nearly 20 points against the Saints, and in and out of the hands of Juna Smith, out of bounds. And you can see the Saints now starting to feel it a little bit, it looks like.
Yeah, you can see their body language is starting to fade a little bit.
Wolves look to continue to take advantage here. Kate Dahmer now with it for the Wolves here. Daisha McDonald now.
Another high ball screen. They've got a switch there.
McNamara, 5 seconds on the shot clock here. 13 with a tough shot, in and out on the shot for Piper Hatherall here. Thought that one was gonna go, but rolls out of the rim here. Juna Smith all alone. Oh, miscommunication, it looks like, on defense by the Wolves.
Good heady play there. Uses the eyes, pulls the defender, and then all of a sudden the Red Sea parted.
Hatherall, I like that. Hatherall with it now for the Wolves. Dahmer for three, no good on the attempt. Couldn't quite hear the call there on that one.
We had a hold, I believe. Not sure what the number was, but yeah, our official made the signal. Hold off the ball. We're going to have Algonquin inbound on the end line.
Wolves set to inbound here. Wolves finds Kate Dahmer on the other end, back to McDonald. 14, McNamara. 7 seconds on the shot clock here. Saints doing a great job keeping the Wolves at bay. And a loose ball here now picked up by the Wolves. Once again, second chance opportunity now for Algonquin.
And those are tough. Again, at this point in the game, down 14, you need every opportunity you can get. When you get a stop defensively, you need to be able to corral that rebound.
You saw McDonald put up a three-pointer. Did you see how quick she was ready to go on the inside to grab her own rebound? But that one goes out of bounds. The Saints going to take it back the other way. With 5:02 left to play in the fourth quarter here, Saints still trying to build some momentum against the Wolves. Wolves right now in firm control.
Great pass there by Overeem. And again, another bunny under the basket that the Saints aren't able to convert.
Oh, and a huge collision.
We may have some information sharing here. This may get upgraded.
Off the pass here, Juna Smith. You want to believe she was going for the ball here against Daisha McDonald. McDonald takes a huge spill, her second really of the game, after crashing into the table.
And we're upgraded here. I believe that would be ruled a C2, so excessive contact. We'll have 2 in the ball for the Wolves.
Daisha McDonald, though, back on her feet and staying in the game.
You can see she's hopping around a little gingerly there, and no one blame her after a collision like that.
No, absolutely not, especially after it being the second one of the game, really, for Daisha McDonald.
All right,
and we get a timeout called here by the Wolves. What a game. It's been quite the game here between the Wolves and the Saints.
Fantastic game so far. The Wolves have really been able to keep them at arm's length here in the second half. Again, some interesting plays, interesting interactions here in the third quarter. Games, again, started to get a little bit physical. Saints are starting, I think the legs are getting a little bit tired again. Caitlin Overeem, I don't think has come off the floor. If she has, it's been very, very minimally. So she's played for most of this game. But again, as she goes, the Saints go. Down 14, 4 minutes left here in the game. They're really going to need to get some stops. And again, plays like this that are going to send the Wolves to the line, 2 shots and the ball, are really counterproductive to this comeback opportunity.
Absolutely, and Caitlin Overeem, especially in a bit of foul trouble. As you mentioned, barely seen her get taken off the floor here for the Saints. She has 4 fouls to her name, but they're going to keep her in down the stretch here for the Saints. 4:46 left to play in this game here in this semifinal matchup of the OCAA Final Four for the first time ever in Sarnia, Ontario this weekend. Both teams trying to vie for that gold medal game against the Lions tomorrow afternoon as Deja McDonald steps back onto the floor. Shoot her 2 free throws here off the collision by Juna Smith here of the Saints. And misses her first attempt at the free throw line for Deja McDonald here. But makes the second. And the Wolves are gonna keep possession here. I know McDonald has a lot of game, but moving as gingerly as she is, and you still have a game to play tomorrow, I'm a little bit surprised she's still on the floor.
And it may be something that we keep an eye on here in the last few minutes of the game. Maybe it is something that, the Algonquin Wolves coaching staff might need to address.
And now Caitlin Overeem going from one end of the floor to the other, draws the foul.
Great take there by Overeem.
And
again, knowing, understanding, you've got the defender moving, and again, take it to the hole. She's done a fantastic job, putting this team on her back tonight, and those are the plays she's going to have to continue making if they're going to make this interesting down the stretch.
A lot of noise making here in the den. Thought that was thunder for a second. And Chloe Lapointe, already the first player, fouled out of the game here for the Wolves. And with that foul there, that gives number 22, Kate Dahmer, her 4th, who is now also in foul trouble. A number of players here on both ends in some foul trouble here coming down the stretch.
And we weren't in that scenario at halftime, so it tells you we've had a sloppy third and a sloppy fourth here. Both teams getting a little bit handsy down the stretch.
Absolutely. Now Deja McDonald with it here for the Wolves, and in the hands now of Sienna Miller. Miller kicks back out for a mid-range jumper, no good by number 13. Catherall here picked up by the Saints now. Overeem finds the other Overeem here, number 6. And no good on the attempt by Lauren Overeem, but draws the foul nonetheless. Lauren Overeem now set to shoot 2 here for the Saints. Trying to close this lead a little bit further. In and out.
I meant to say this earlier, Kevin, but that's another phase of the game that the Saints have really hurt themselves in is free throw shooting. Their free throw shooting, especially here in the second half, has not been great. And again, between those opportunities from the free throw line and a few missed layups, this could be a vastly different story.
And you mentioned it early in the first quarter as well. Those layups, those easy layups that were there that could not get converted, they might be paying for it down the stretch. And here we are in the fourth quarter with 3:51 left to play, and the Saints are down here against the Wolves.
At 14-point deficit. We've got a timeout. Timeout Saints here.
Timeout called here by the Saints. They have 1 timeout remaining here as we wind down to the fourth quarter here. It has been everything and more that we expected here. Back and forth affair, as you mentioned, getting a little bit sloppy here and late in the third and fourth, and that's only apparent with the number of fouls that have been given out here in the second half, but still quite the game between the Saints and the Wolves. What are you expecting here down the stretch, like the last few minutes of this game?
Down the stretch, if you're St. Clair, again, you kind of got to take it in minutes. So, okay, in the next 3 possessions, we'll say on average in a minute, the next 3 possessions, how do we win all 3 of those possessions? Can we get it to single digits within the next 3 possessions? How do we manage that? And then you go from there. Again, you can't look at it as 14 points, we got to get it all back at once. You can't do that. So you got to take it minute by minute, play by play, be able to possession by possession, win the battles and the opportunities you can. And again, know that you're not going to score on every possession, but how do we get it to single digits? And then from single digits, how do we get it to 2 possessions? So on and so forth. Wolves on the other side, they've just got to, see this thing out.
Keep doing what they're doing, basically.
Exactly.
Caitlin Overeem waiting to pick this one up. Wolves doing a great job getting in her face, though, forcing her to pick it up here. Juna Smith for 3, in and around the rim, and puts it down. That's a huge play
That is big.
for the Saints coming out of the timeout, trying to build some momentum here late in the fourth quarter against the Wolves. And you see a lot of
like we said there, can they get a stop here? And there's your answer.
Big three-pointer, the answer by Sienna Miller. I was going to say a lot of fast play here by the Saints. A lot of trying to get that ball back here.
That is a big, big shot.
Lauren Overeem for three, trying to answer, no good. Collins with the rebound, no good. Nobody's there on the other end of that one. Number 12 picks it up. Sienna Miller here for the Wolves. This one is going to be a fun one down the stretch. Miller driving in off the glass, puts it down nice and easy for the Wolves here.
Yeah, that's rudimentary. Oh, that is deep.
Pull up three by Overeem. Lauren Overeem with the rebound though. Caitlin for three again, no good on the attempt. Juna Smith doing a great job. What a pass, and the foul. Wow.
Okay, so we find ourselves here in this scenario again. First off, we've got to be able to make this free throw if we're St. Clair and we're trying to get ourselves back in the game. Then we need a stop and an opportunity to get it to single digits.
Sydney Moore with her fourth foul of the game here with the Wolves. That sends Lauren Overeem to the line to shoot. The and one opportunity here for the Saints, trying to convert on a much needed three-point play and does so. Got a substitution coming in now. Chelsea Creep coming in for the Saints. Kate Dahmer set to inbound here for the Wolves. 2:38 left to play here, and the Saints have shown a little bit of life here at the end of the fourth quarter against the Wolves.
I just hope it's not too little too late, Kevin.
Wolves, Kate Dahmer thought about it from three. Passed it to Sienna Miller here. Time winding down on the shot clock here. Kicks it over to number 6, Moore. 5 seconds on the shot clock here. You can hear the countdown from the stands. Dahmer with a last-second three. No good on the attempt. Bukarowicz picking up the rebound here.
Stop. Can they get their score here? Great play by Overeem. What a pass. What a cut by Smith.
Juna Smith with the finish off the feed by Overeem. And that cuts the lead now down to 13. The Wolves looking for an answer here. Saints have gone on a bit of a run here against the Wolves.
They need a stop. They need another. That is a foul. And that is going to send Algonquin to the line. And now, at this point in the game, as long as the Wolves can make their free throws, this should be game over, yeah.
So number 11, Libby Hurst at the line to shoot a couple free throws here off the foul by number 10, Lily Collins.
The old announcer's jinx there, Kevin. Talked about making free throws. And unfortunately, we got the better of Libby Hurst there.
Not once, but twice here. Misses the second attempt from the free throw line, but the Wolves picking it up here.
That just can't happen at this stage of the game. You cannot be giving up an offensive rebound on a missed free throw.
4 seconds on the shot clock here. This could be a shot clock violation. Nice floater by McDonald, but no good on the attempt here.
And the Wolves will keep the ball. Again, the Saints cannot buy a rebound right now.
Minute 27 left to play. Wolves up by 68 to 57 here. Late in the fourth quarter, but the Saints fighting for every last possession here. Dacia McDonald inbounding, finds number 6 off the inbound, Sydney Moore. 10 seconds.
Wolves are doing a good job utilizing as much shot clock as they can. They found themselves in some late shot clock scenarios, but to their advantage, being the team up double digits, less than 2 to go.
Dacia McDonald now at the line to shoot a couple free throws for the Wolves here. And that could be the dagger here for the Saints by the Algonquin Wolves. And they make both the free throws here. Caitlin Overeem now with it for the Saints. Time winding down here in the fourth quarter.
Overeem will shoot 2 there, penalty scenario.
Caitlin Overeem now at the line to shoot 2 here. I am hesitant to call it with a minute 13 left to play, so I won't say a word. But Caitlin Overeem at the line here to shoot a couple free throws here for the Saints.
We were given an earful by one of our scoreboard operators in the last game about calling it maybe a little bit too early. So we'll wait for Jake's okay.
Sounds good.
That's when we'll be able to say it.
And Overeem here makes her first, misses her second, and picked up here by the Wolves. Wolves looking to just hang on to it here.
It's all but said and done here. It looks like the Wolves will meet the Lions tomorrow evening
Algonquin
for a gold medal. The first place team in the East meets the first place team in the West.
And that's how you want to see it. Also the best defensive team in the East versus the best defensive team in the West.
What's the old adage? Defense wins championships, right?
And
offense sells tickets, defense wins championships.
And we have two of the best defensive teams facing off tomorrow in the gold medal game at 5:30 p.m. Try to make that one live. It'll be quite the show here in the Den for the first time in OCAA history, and it's rarefied air when you have a home team going for the gold medal, and we have one tomorrow afternoon as the Lions take on the Wolves here as they try to wrap things up here against the Saints. And the Saints will meet against the Niagara Knights in the bronze medal game tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m.
A battle there in the bronze medal of two fairly evenly matched teams. Both have the ability offensively and defensively to be able to win a bronze medal. They've faced each other twice already. Tomorrow will be the third time, and obviously the largest of stakes on the line in that matchup.
Absolutely. Saints taking on the Knights tomorrow. Number 2 in the West versus number 3 in the West in the Saints and the Knights. And we'll see a rematch in the gold medal game from last year's semifinal where the Lions defeated the Wolves to advance to the finals in that one. Now tomorrow afternoon, 1 seed versus 1 seed. It should be quite the game here in the Den, and I assume this place is going to be packed to the gills.
Yeah, rocking. It's going to be a special atmosphere in here tomorrow. I don't know if we've seen the Den, the way that it's going to be, but we've been blessed here at Lambton College over the last few years in terms of some big games and some big action, whether it was the men's Final 8 that was hosted here in 2020. We had the OFSA Boys AAA championship with a local flavor in that championship gold medal game last year with Ursuline College from Chatham taking on Oakwood from Toronto. What a game that was.
That was a great game.
And now we're going to be blessed again with our Lambton women taking on these Algonquin Wolves in OCAA women's gold medal matchup tomorrow.
Yeah, I had the honor to call that one last year, the bronze medal and the gold medal game here, and it was a packed house. And I can only imagine what it's going to look like tomorrow when our very own Lions hit the floor in an OCAA finals matchup here against the Wolves. As the Wolves try to wind down the clock here, final minute to go. But the Saints fighting for everything here up until the very end here.
One thing that you can't say about Juna Smith is that she doesn't play right to the end. She's given it her all here, regardless of score or scenario.
Now the Wolves will go to the free throw line to shoot a couple here. Number 11, Libby Hurst, has the opportunity to extend the lead even further here against the Saints and makes her first. And misses her second from the free throw line, but as time winds down, the Algonquin Wolves gonna walk away with a W and a steal off a breakaway, and Daisha McDonald puts the dagger into the St. Clair Saints here late in the fourth quarter. As we hear the noise from the crowd, and the Wolves will face off against the Lions tomorrow at 5:30. Be sure to tune in for that gold medal final between the top team from the West and the top team from the East, and the bronze medal game at 2 p.m. between the St. Clair Saints and the Niagara Knights, as we see the Wolves outpouring of emotion here on the sideline from the bench.